Hey everybody, my name's James and this is West Tennessee Living. Appreciate you stopping by the channel. Today I want to bring y'all to work with me and show you how easy it is to install a rubber boot on a metal roof. And we're just going to get right into it. This is how it's done. First off, I take the sheet and I lay it on the roof where it is on the bottom side of the soil pipe vent. And I know it's different in every case. Your soil pipe vent might be in the middle of the roof, maybe at the bottom, maybe at the top. Whatever it is, if you can work it out where you butt the sheet right up against it, it works out best. So in this particular circumstance, I'm going to be, this soil pipe is up towards the top of the roof. So I'm going to put my sheet at the very bottom of it. And what I did is I put a screw in this little extra flange here on the side to hold my sheet for me so the wind doesn't blow it or anything else. First thing I'm going to do is take a measurement from the sheet next to it at the very top corner to the edge of the sheet that I'm about to cut, like so. And it looks like I have it right at 35.5 inches. That's going to be my cut. Now what I'm going to do, instead of trying to measure from that side this way, I'm just going to use the marks on the sheet itself. And I'm actually going to use it as a marker. And let me show you what I'm talking about. There's these lines here in the panels, and I'm actually going to use those instead of actually having to strike a line. I'm going to take a mark right here, and then a mark right here. We can see that the edge of that pipe is right on that line right there. So these are the markers I'm going to use down on my 35.5 inch. So then we measure from right where the pipe is down 35.5 inches and make a marking at the bottom of my cut and then the sides by using these lines in the rib. So then what we do is we measure the pipe itself. This pipe is 3.5 inches in diameter. So we're going to measure 4 inches up from my bottom mark, which is going to be at the bottom of this pipe here. All right, so we can see I've got a mark here. That's the bottom of my pipe. This is the top of the pipe. That's the one side and this is the other side, and we're going to cut right here in the middle. As far as cutting the hole in the sheet, this is the way I do it. This might not be beneficial for you, depending on how many that you cut. I cut dozens a week. So I bought myself a 1-inch metal to metal bit. And you need to make just some kind of a hole in the center of your marking where you're going to be doing it. It doesn't really matter what you use. You could use screws, you could use a hammer if you want. It doesn't really matter. Basically just have to make a hole in the sheet so that you can start where you go to cut at. That's basically what you're looking for. Once your hole is cut, I'm going to take my nifty offset shears. I'm going to cut the hole out. So now what we're going to do, simply see if this works. Moment of truth. Just going to pull it right up and stick it right on top of the hole like that right there. You want to make it to where your sheet is even, like that, so you know it's in the center there. And this gap right around here is not that big of a deal because I'm going to put some silicone around that, and then we're putting a boot on top of it. So that right there is ideal. That's exactly what you want it to look like. Now that all that's done, we're gonna put a screw in it to hold it down exactly where we want it to be. All right, that's not going anywhere now. Now we're going to take our 18-volt cordless silicone gun made by Rigid. One of my favorite tools, by the way. We're going to do some siliconing. I will say this, if you're going to be putting any kind of silicone on a metal roof, it needs to be 100% silicone. This is the stuff that my supplier sells. It's called Solar Seal. It's pretty good stuff, but you can get stuff at Lowe's. It doesn't have to be at a metal supplier, Lowe's or Home Depot. You can even buy it at Walmart. You just have to make sure that it says somewhere on the can 100% silicone. The 100% silicone allows for expansion and contraction, and the sheet is going to expand and contract, and if you don't have silicone on it, it's not going to have the elasticity to move back and forth with the sheet. So what we're going to do here first, I'm going to silicone all around the sheet itself. If you got to fill the gap, that's what I like to do. Basically, anywhere that the silicone does not see sun, it's virtually permanent. So really what I like doing, I like double sealing this so that it's all nice and sealed around the pipe itself. Now we're going to take the boot and put a layer of a bead of silicone on that as well. And basically we just take the gun and go right around the rib like that. Okay, so we're going to do that and then squeeze it down. Sometimes this particular boot was pre-cut from the supply house, so I don't have to worry about cutting it. But if you do have to cut the center out of one, you want to make that really tight. Or if you have a 4-inch pipe, then cut a 3-inch hole. You want that to be really tight. So we're going to put that down, and we're going to try to put screws somewhere around every 2 inches. I like doing first is getting this metal band tight around the rib, because that's when it's up over the rib like that, that's your greatest chance of somewhere where it's leaking. So I like making those tight and form-fitted first.
And then I go somewhere around every 2 inches around it.
I know it's a pile of screws, but it's worth it. They say that you could, if you put the screws every 2 inches, that you actually don't have to use silicone on it at all. But I would never do that. Silicone's not that expensive, and it's just better to do that. So that's what you want it to look like at that stage. Now I'm going to take the silicone and put a nice bead around the bottom of the boot where the rubber meets the sheet. Just a nice little extra bead of goodness right there. Okay, now next I'm going to take a bead and go around this line right here where the silicone meets, or the rubber meets the PVC. And that's it. That is how you install a rubber boot on a metal roof. Simple as that. If you have any questions, ask me in the comments. I'll be happy to try to help you out as best I can. Until then, my name's James. This is West Tennessee Living. I really appreciate you stopping by the channel. If this has helped you at all, please leave me a like, thumbs up, and consider subscribing. We're going to be putting some more videos on the channel about roofing. That's my occupation. And we're just trying to help some folks out that's trying to do it themselves. You have a good day. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you in the next video.